Hey everybody, it's JJ, and today I've been out doing some 3D archery shooting. Did a little bit talking about my bow and all that kind of stuff, and I've had a couple of folks inquire about what hunting gear I use and all that kind of stuff. So I thought I'd go ahead and take a minute and just kind of show you my hunting pack, what I carry with me, talk a little bit about why and all that kind of stuff, and that way you guys will know what it is. So anyway, stick with me and we'll get started. Okay guys, so starting out with the pack, this is a Cabela's pack. It's got seclusion camouflage on it, and it's kind of a soft material on the outside. It's not like a ballistic nylon or anything like that, and the reason I like that is because it's a lot more quiet. Now the downside to it is if you got an area with stick tights or anything like that, then it's definitely going to stick to them. And I also like the system. It's kind of like basically like a fanny pack with a load-bearing vest on it, kind of an H harness, and I really like this system for hunting. It allows me to throw in extra layers and stuff like that. I can strap it to the vest. I've got some extra straps here that'll allow me to put extra camouflage or wool jacket or whatever I need, just depending on the situation. I can kind of strap that all on there. It also came with a small backpack that will strap to it right here. I don't typically use that though at all. As far as gear on the outside pockets, I'll just start out here. This is a little Primos blood tracker, blood hunter light. It's got a couple of different, it's got red and green lenses. I'm not really sure if these things actually work or not, but I picked it up, and I haven't actually had a whole lot of opportunity to use it since I got it. It's got something that rattles inside of it. I think a lot of Primos gear is kind of cheap, but I wanted to see if the different color lights work, so hopefully this season I'll get a better chance to check that out. Okay, also have a water bottle here on the outside, and depending on how far I'm going to be away from my truck and all that kind of stuff, that could either be a water bottle or a pee bottle because sometimes you just don't want to get down out of the tree stand. Alright, now in the front pocket, there's another front pocket here, side pocket here. There's really nothing in this side pocket right now. I kind of reserve that for the doe urine and deer attractants and all that kind of stuff, and I haven't picked that up for this season because you want to get fresh stuff, So in the front pocket, I've got rangefinder VLR2. It's made by Bushnell, but it is marketed by Cabela's. And I've got a small Petzl headlamp with the red filter on it, so going in and out of the woods. You can kind of keep a low profile. I do also keep some chalk in there. I don't use chalk a whole lot, but sometimes I do. When you're in the stand, you can actually just hang a little piece of twine kind of from a branch nearby, and that'll tell you how the wind direction is just as good as anything. I got a video on that. I can link to it up in here. This is just another little off-brand flashlight. It's pretty light, or it's pretty bright. It just takes a couple AA. I think I got it at Menards Hardware in Iowa. Got a few extra batteries, and that's about it. Let me see, in here I think I've got a couple of knife sharpeners. I like these little carbide, Smith's carbide sharpeners. They actually work pretty well. Then I've got one for my gut hook as well. That's why I have that in here. I'll show you that on my knife in a minute. And last thing I've got down here is just it's a mini mag light. It's the LED version. Lights become very important, especially when you get into a tracking situation and you're down on your hands and knees for hours at a time. Okay, with the inside, okay, so with the inside, first off, set of gloves. These are, what are they, Hatch operator shorty gloves. And I've got a head net, basically in the same kind of 3D camo that my hunting outer layers are. And I've got a deer drag, and it's just some nylon webbing for putting around the deer's neck. It's got a couple handles on it, and it's not actually what it's intended to be, but that's what I use it for. Just slip that around the deer's neck, and then you got a couple handles that you can pull it on. Works pretty well. Okay, this is my favorite little piece of gear. This is an Alaskan zipper, and made by Timberline. And I love cleaning deer with this little knife. It's really just the perfect little knife for cleaning deer. You've got your gut hook right here, and then you've got your blade right here. And it's tiny, you know what I mean? But that's all you need. And I've cleaned probably 6 or 8 deer with it, and it just works really, really well. Okay. Then I've got, as far as some survival equipment kind of thing, I've got a little antler handle with a compass embedded into it. I've been turned around in the woods more than one time, coming in and out in the mornings or late in the evenings, so it's kind of nice to have a little bit of navigational aspect. Got a little notch started for doing a bow and drill fire, which I wouldn't really necessarily need, but just did for fun. Also got the magnesium rod on there. Have a arm protector, and basically I put that right there mainly to keep in the 3D leaves on my 3D camo suit. I do have an extra knife. This is just a Gerber, and you know, it's got a nice point for cleaning and all that kind of stuff. Nothing too fancy, but it works and it stays sharp. Really, this is kind of my secondary knife if my Alaskan zipper gets dull. And this is a Gerber saw. Highly recommend that you get one of these for cutting through the pelvis and cutting through the chest cavity. Works out really, really well. Makes short work of it, and you could use it for cutting wood and all that kind of stuff too if you needed to, but mostly just for cleaning deer. Extra batteries, and got a couple of bungee cords here, and I do that for hanging up my quiver when I'm in the tree stand. I just use those to strap it in place wherever I want it. And then this is just some fat wood and a chem light. It's all wrapped up in there. And got some trail marking tape. Whoops. And that becomes important going in or out of your stand, or if you're tracking a deer. You know, if you're following a blood trail or something like that, I've had to use these several times. Of course, toilet paper. Always important. And little Altoids tin, backup compass, and some cotton balls and Vaseline for starting fire just in case. More batteries for my headlamp. That's about it. I've got an 8x10 tarp here. I've got just a little bit of cordage. This is just some 310 test bank line, non-tarred. Let's see, in here I've got a couple of carabiners and a few hanks of paracord. And you know, use these for getting in and out of the tree stand, as far as hoisting up my bow and backpack and all that kind of stuff. And then a couple hand warmers. And last but not least, in here, let's see, I've got a bandage, combat bandage, and then a cravat triangle bandage. And then I've got just some 4x4s, some tape, some band-aids, a couple of, you know, antibiotic ointments, stuff like that. Just some real basic first aid kit stuff. Some more batteries, and some duct tape, and then a Frontier emergency water filter. And I think that is about it. Alright guys, so that's just been a really quick look at my hunting pack from Cabela's. You know, really, I guess hunting gear is all kind of an individual thing, and you know, you take the things that you need and you leave behind the stuff that you don't, and that's kind of how I've come to the things that I carry. It's kind of a continually refining process, I guess, you know, because you don't want to take out a bunch of weight that you don't need to, especially if it's, you know, a pretty long trek to get, you know, to your stand and all that kind of stuff through thick woods without trails and all that kind of jazz. You know, it gets kind of cumbersome carrying too much stuff. So that's where, you know, that's why I've just come up to mind. The only other things you might see in my pack would be, like I said, a piss bottle, like an empty Gatorade bottle or whatever, or you also may see like a wool watch cap in the wintertime when it gets colder, and an extra set of warm gloves, and then that's pretty much it. I generally don't take out anything else. Might find a couple extra layers, like I said, of wool jacket or, you know, something along those lines if it was cold as well that would be strapped to the top of it. But that's pretty much the essentials: that, my bow, and my tree stand. So if you guys haven't had the opportunity to use a climbing tree stand, I did a video on that. I'll link that up in here. You can go check that out. They're pretty cool. They've got a lot of advantages to them, so I definitely recommend you check those out as well. Anyway, guys, that is pretty much all for this video. Thanks so much for watching. As always, I definitely appreciate it when you share it with your friends on Facebook and Twitter. Also, when you click the thumbs up button, and when you subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. And don't forget the 6 P's. Proper prior preparation prevents poor performance. Stay safe.